Hi, I'm Gabi, and welcome to Gabbing with Gabi. In this series, we sit down with fellow oil painters who brought their knowledge and talent to the world via the internet. It's a chance for them to put down their paintbrushes, step away from their easels, and to talk about themselves. And it's also a great opportunity for all of us to get to know them a little bit better. And our guest today is JD. Go ahead and introduce yourself, JD.
Hi, I'm JD Wayne, sometimes known as the rock and roll painter.
Awesome. And where are you from, JD?
Richmond, Indiana.
Okay, awesome. You're primarily an oil painter, correct?
At times, yes.
Okay. What else do you paint with?
I've done some acrylics, but lately I've been doing a lot with charcoal and drawing. But yeah, as far as painting oil, more than acrylics, yes.
Okay, but you do drawing too.
Yes, you can see some of the. I do a lot of portrait drawings. Yes.
Wow.
Okay. I do this. You can see their drum heads. I do charcoal portraits on drum heads, and I get them autographed. I go to concerts and get them autographed. So that's a nice hobby of mine.
Behind you, there's a blonde woman. Yep, above her, who is that?
Above?
Yeah.
Above her?
Yeah.
You mean above her?
Yeah.
That's Winona Judd?
That's who I thought it was. Oh, yeah. I love that.
Let me get that here to show you. It's autographed.
Oh, it is? Oh,
Autographed by
so
Winona.
jealous.
Sure is, yep.
Yeah, it is.
Let me turn that back. That's charcoal. I do charcoal portraits on drum heads. And as far as I know, I'm the only one in the world doing charcoal portraits on drum heads. Nobody else is doing that for me.
Did she like it when you showed it to her?
Yes, she said that she's seen a lot of fan art, but this was the best she'd seen.
That is so beautiful. From the time I was a little girl, I have always been in love with the Judds, and they were kind of on their way out as I was coming into this world. It's kind of bizarre, but I've always loved them. So
it's amazing how little it was on screen, and you spotted that. Yeah.
Yeah, I would know her face anywhere. Yeah.
That's her. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very cool. Okay. So you do different stuff then. You don't just do landscapes, you do people. Do you do animals at all?
Well, yeah, I got started doing pet portraits. That's something I really like to do. So I do pet portraits, yeah. I do those as commissions, yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I hear a lot of talk about panels. I paint on panels. That's a panel. There's nothing wrong with painting on panels.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh, not wine over. Don't do that. It's just another example of pet portraits. Just hard to.
Yeah.
I like doing. Yes, I like doing. To me, the landscapes, the mountains and trees and seascapes is a gateway drug. You know, a lot of people get started that way. And that's how I got started. I got started watching the old guy on TV, but I went to, I ventured out and done all different things.
Yeah, you became a deeper artist, I guess is the best way I can think of it.
Well,
yeah.
I get bored easy, so I got bored with mountains and trees. I went through certification. I was bored before the certification was over. I didn't want to do mountains anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's great though, and your animals, people always ask me if I'll do, people or animals, and I'm like, no, because if they're not perfect, they'll drive me crazy. And a lot of times people look like they're cross-eyed or animals, their eyes are going two different directions, but yours don't look like that. You're doing a really good job.
The eyes, the window to the soul. Every portrait I do, I start with the eyes and work out from here. If I don't get the eyes right, there's no point doing anything else with it. So I got to get those right, then I'll do the rest of the portrait.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry, you don't have that in mountains and trees. Every tree can be perfect, no matter how bad you think that tree is. It's perfect. You don't have that. You don't have that. You can't be that critical.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have other hobbies outside of art?
Well, I like to travel, and I like music, and I like to go to concerts. So that's where I've kind of combined art and travel and music. Where I do these portraits and then go get them signed. I've traveled across the country to get some of these things signed. I've got Joe Perry of Aerosmith, Nancy Wilson of Heart. I mean, you've seen Winona. So I've got a lot of really cool things happen by combining all of my hobbies. Yes.
Yeah, I love that. I'm like that too. It's like I can't have separate hobbies. They all end up coming together in some form. So, yeah. Do you play any instruments? Do you do any music yourself?
I play a mean jukebox. I just joke when I say I pretend to play guitar. I mean, I went to rock and roll things. You can't play guitar with Joe Perry on stage, but I'm a better painter than I am a guitar player. Yeah. I mean jukebox,
Yeah, I commend anybody who can play an instrument because I'm with you. I'm playing the jukebox. That's the best I can do. How long have you been doing art?
I did my first painting in 2011. I had a cancer scare, which is a whole other story, but that's what kind of got the ball rolling.
Okay.
I mean, my story, I saw the old guy on TV, and what I did different than most people, I turned the volume down because if I watched the show, I'd fall asleep. I've heard a lot of people say they fall asleep to it. So if I turned the volume down and turned some music on, some rock and roll, I could watch what he was doing. I could see what his hand was doing because I wasn't hearing anything. And I just thought there wasn't any magic. So there was no smoke and mirrors. I said, yes, I can do that. But with jobs and kids and family and mortgages, I didn't have time to do it. So it was 25 years from the time I first saw the old guy on TV before I sat down and painted.
Yeah. And that's so typical of everybody. Life just kind of gets in the way of, I think.
Yeah, life's what gets in the way of good plans.
That's right.
I had a little cancer scare, but that didn't rush me out to go painting. It just made me reevaluate life and know that there's no guarantee tomorrow. So if there's something you want to do, you got to do it. And I was going into the local craft store and I saw a sign that said painting class. For years, I'd walk by and said I could do that. But things are good. Today's the day. I'm going to sign up. I'm going to see what I can do. So I signed up for the class, and then the world changed that day.
Wow, that's so awesome. I think we all kind of come into this kind of different ways, and that's a good story. And you're clear of cancer now?
Pardon me?
You're clear of cancer?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I'm happy to hear that. Let's see. Do you plan to do art for the rest of your life?
To me, my journey has been like a magic carpet ride. I don't have a plan. I just hang on and see where it goes. So I don't know. I never planned all this. All this happened the last couple of years. My art took a crazy turn, and I just went for it. So I don't know where it's going to go. There's things I'd like to try, like glass blowing or clay and pottery. There's a lot of things I'd like to try.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. When you first started painting, was there anything that was particularly easy for you?
What I found easy, I don't know if this sounds weird, but I found easy that I understood and comprehended if somebody showed me something. So I was able to, that's why I can take on a lot of these different mediums, because I try to, it's easy for me to pay attention and pick something up and understand and go with it. I had an American Mastiff. He passed away a couple years ago, and I'm not replacing him because it's like replacing a family member. His painting is the first pet portrait I did with him, and hangs on my wall, so I still see him every day. But I've not rushed out to get another dog.
And it's hard to travel too when you have pets. It really is.
Yeah, no, it was hard with him. I'd have to put him. Well, he had bad legs. He couldn't walk. He was in a wheelchair, so I couldn't take him to the kennel. So I had people that would come to the house and keep an eye on him. So I made it tough to travel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was unfair to him the times that I was gone, and I felt bad. There was times I came back early because I was worried about him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know one time we went to Malta, and like a few days before we had gone to Malta, his name's Oliver. Oliver had gotten this tangle in his tail, and then he like chewed it, and it was raw, and it was this mess, and he had a cone. And the whole time we were in Malta, I'm like, I feel so bad. I feel like I should be at home taking care of the dog,
Well, if you ever need a portrait of Oliver, just let me know. I know somebody does those.
Yeah, absolutely. My husband's like, you should do that. I said, no, I won't do justice to it, but now I know somebody who can.
If you ever want to go that route, I learned from Marion Dutton. I know I heard Dale mention her the other day. She was amazing. She's in the UK. And she came over here to the States, and I took a pet portrait course from her that really, introduced me to what I could do.
Oh.
So if you ever get a chance to look her up, she's amazing.
Yeah, I'll have to do that for sure. Awesome. Let's see. When you started, we'll go back to that conversation. What was difficult for you?
What was difficult for me, and I still have the same difficulty, is sitting in an 8-hour class for one painting. When I went to the certification, the first week, it's one painting a day, and I can't, because I paint fast. I can do a painting in 4 minutes. I've done some YouTube videos, but I did a painting in 4 minutes. So to sit there all day just drives me nuts. I went to some workshops with Steve Ross and Dana Jester. They were kind enough to allow me to do other paintings while their workshop was going on, because the workshop was geared toward newbies and people learning to paint. And it's just hard for me to be there all day. So I would do other paintings while I was at their workshop. And I was even selling those paintings during class. So that was kind of cool. But yeah, the difficult for me is to sit. That was the hardest thing, to sit through an all-day class for one painting.
Yeah, I'd lose my mind because I'm like, I don't paint in 4 minutes, but I paint fast as well. I painted 12 pictures one day. So yeah, to sit there and do one picture for 8 hours, I would lose my mind. That would be.
It's difficult. And in certification, that's just, it's just the way it goes. And every day is one painting. And I would get up and walk around, and help me to learn, because I could see what other people were doing. I could see what other people were doing wrong. I'd walk around just to kill the time, and that's where most people sit there and they piddle and over. Lost your signal for a second. They just overwork the painting because they have so much time in their hands waiting on the next step. And that was something for me too, to do it once and go walk away from it. I know if you keep working that, you're just going to make it worse.
I know. Yeah, absolutely. And actually I teach, like individual lessons with friends and family and stuff like that. And all the time I'd take the paintbrushes away. I'm like, you're done. Because all you're going to do is make it worse. Trust me.
I tell people that The chances of you improving that are zero. The chances of you making it worse are 100%. And then that little mistake is suddenly this big, and then suddenly you're scraping off the whole canvas because of that one little mistake.
Yeah.
Leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Absolutely. Let's see. What do you wish you had known about art, about painting, about any of that when you very first started?
I wish I would have known I didn't have to go down the certification route. I didn't have to take that road. I see now YouTube has really grown where there's so many painters out there. You can learn everything you want to know without ever having to go down the certification. I know I see people like Jeff Chiavarini. He's not certified as I know, and his paintings are just unbelievable. He's better than 99% of all the certified instructors I see out there. You know, and you don't, and then like and Dale Cullen, he's not certified, but he does some amazing things, and I enjoy his enthusiasm to painting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I wish there'd been more YouTubes where I could have learned on YouTube. There, you know, that didn't exist then. So I took 2 classes, and my instructor retired. And the people at the Hobby Lobby came to me and said, "Can you teach?" I said, "What do you mean? Can I teach? I've only done 2 classes. What are you talking about teaching?" So I went online, and that's where I found, you know, there was a school in Florida where you could go to become certified. You know, I wish I had. You know, you didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's see. What advice do you have for somebody just getting started?
Wow. Learn everything you can. You don't limit yourself to one thing. I mean, learn. You know, learn from as many different people as you can. You don't be stuck. When I first got certified, I felt like I was painting with handcuffs on because you can only do it one way. You can only use this brush. You can only use this paint. I mean, learn as much as you can. Do as much as you can. There's a whole world out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And some people say, you know, kind of stick with somebody so that you're not getting all scrambled in the head. And I mean, some people might have that way of learning, but I think you need to go to different places because every single person paints differently and has something that they can bring to the table that other person didn't.
Exactly. Yeah. I've been lucky enough. I've painted with Marion Dutton. I painted with Gary Jenkins. I painted with Wilson Bickford, rest in peace. So I painted with some amazing instructors, and I only grew as an artist by expanding those horizons.
Yeah.
I didn't limit myself.
Yeah, absolutely. How many pieces of art do you think you've done since you started?
2,174.
I love it. I love that you have an exact number.
Now, was I right? I don't know. That's just a number.
Oh.
It's over 2,000, yeah, easily.
Yeah. Yeah, I bet.
At Christmas time, I do little paintings like this. I don't know if you can see these.
Oh yeah, just like teeny weeny little ones. Yeah.
Putting Christmas cards in the mail to people. So, you know, I can do, 10 of those in an hour. You know, I just set them up a little sitting line, just start painting. So, Christmas time, I can do hundreds of paintings when you do that size.
Yeah.
So little magnets on the back, so the little kitchen magnets. So that way everybody can have a little painting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I believe it's over a couple thousand, yeah, easily.
And I've seen recently that you've been putting stuff on of your saw blades. How big of saw blades do you paint?
The bigger the better for me. Usually 24, 25 up to 31 inches is what I like to paint.
Yeah, yeah.
They make a real dramatic canvas. If somebody's got a log cabin fireplace to hang it over, it just really makes a dramatic statement.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever done any like crosscut saws or anything like that?
Yeah, I've done up to 76-inch 2-man saw. Yeah, I like doing those too.
Yeah.
You have to plan those out and really think about it because that long perspective. That's right. I posted one the other day, the seascape. I like that long perspective, the seascape. I thought it worked perfect. Somebody come on and said it didn't work. Well, that's their opinion. My opinion, it worked. I liked it.
You kind of have to see those in person to really get like a better sight of them, because I painted them as well. And in a picture, sometimes it's like they don't really look right, possibly. But when you see it in person, they're stunning.
Yes.
So, yeah.
I've done many of those.
Yeah. I had somebody give me an ice saw. I haven't painted it yet, but this thing is like 80 pounds. I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to paint that big of a saw. It's like this thick. You could saw a human in half with it. It's for like big, huge blocks of ice, but yeah, it's cool.
I came across one blade a guy had online. It was 60 inches round. And I went and looked at it, and it was just, there was no way I could put it in any kind of easel display. It couldn't have, it was too big. That one just exceeded what I really wanted to do. I don't know if I could have ever sold it. So that was the first one I had to say, I'm sorry, it's not for me. It's just too big.
Yeah, well, and on top of that, like when you paint stuff that's really big, then you have to carry it around when it comes to like selling it. And it's like, I charge more just because I have to carry them around.
Initially, when I started doing this, I had a bunch of blades I took to some art shows and stuff. Yeah, and it was not fun carrying those things around. It was dangerous. It was dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And then in metal too, it scratches so easily. So it's like you have to be so delicate with it. Yeah.
Anymore, I don't do saw blades unless somebody brings one to me and wants a commission. Then I'll do it. Then I know it's going right away after I paint it.
Yeah. I have some that I do, but I'm getting to that point too. And I have people all the time that are like, "Can you paint this for me?" Because they have their family heirloom or whatever, and I'm like, I'd much rather paint that than have to carry one around. So
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. Let's see. So you sell your work?
Yes.
Do you sell all of your work, or do you keep some of it?
There's a few I keep that I would never let go of. Just a few. Most of them, a lot of them when I post them on Facebook, I find that that's the best way to sell stuff. I had a website for a while, and I just find out more people were looking at Facebook. And a lot of times I'll sell it before it's even dry, which is good.
Yeah.
And a lot of commissions. I do a lot of commissions, so I mean that's sold before you even paint it.
Do you like doing commissions?
Yes and no. At times, it's not. Somebody will get a hold of me and their pet has passed away, and they don't have a good picture, and I have to tell them I'm sorry, I can't paint that. So there's some tough times with that. But if I get a good picture that I can work with, yeah, I love doing the pets.
Awesome. That's so cool. How about the pictures that you have that are signed? Are you always going to keep those?
Oh, those back there, yes.
Yeah.
Those are not for sale. That's my wall of fame back there. I like that. I told people I got to get a bigger house now because to make room for more.
Yeah, that's awesome. I wouldn't let them go either, especially if they've been signed. Absolutely. Let's see. Do you teach classes?
Yes. Yeah, I've been teaching for I got certified in 2012, so about 11 years. So I've taught over 200 classes, and I teach. I just teach once a month anymore because I'm not getting younger, and it's just. And the whole the wet and wet, the mountains and trees is something I'm finding I'm working away from, but I still teach those classes. Yes.
Yeah. Have you ever learned anything from any of your students in that process?
Wow. I'm sure I have. I'm not. I don't know if I can come up with any examples on that, but I'm sure I have. Yes.
Yeah. You don't have to. I notice that I learn things when I teach people. I feel like I learn more than they do sometimes. Do you have an all-time favorite piece that you've done?
I call it my Mona Lisa. I posted it online the other day. Let's see if I can bring it up here. It's a floral.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah. God, that's incredible.
I learned florals. I got certified in florals from the Ross Company, which I don't recommend. I went and worked with Gary Jenkins. He has an online course called Paint with Passion. Each one of these is there's 8 different projects in his course. I'm the only one that put them all together in one project. So I call it my Mona Lisa because it's the only one in the world like it. And as far as I know, nobody else has put all 8 of them on one canvas.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's the detail is really, really good. It's phenomenal.
I had a lot of fun doing it. And then I have the painting of my big dog that passed away. That painting will never go. That'll stay with me forever.
Yeah, absolutely. Why did you decide to sort of start making videos and stuff online?
Initially, when I first got certified, I was painting so fast. Everybody was telling me to slow down, but a couple guys at work said, "Why don't you see if you can do a painting within a couple songs?" And I found out I could do an entire Ross style painting in one song. So I started making YouTube videos. This was back in 2012. And this was not time lapse; it was real time, where I would do a whole painting in 4 minutes. And I started uploading to YouTube. I had 10 of them up there. That's what started the whole rock and roll painting thing, was painting songs to classic rock. But after I had a couple 100,000 views, then I got this cease and desist letter from YouTube because I was using copyrighted music, and I didn't understand at the time how all that worked. I learned real quick, so they muted all my videos, so that kind of took the fun out of it. That's where my introduction to YouTube was, with the rock and roll painter videos.
Cool. That's so cool. And how many episodes do you think you did of that?
I only did 10, and then they pulled the plug away.
Okay. But
I've done a lot of live demonstrations where I'll go out and do a painting in a song. I like doing that. That's where I get to put the top hat on, go out and paint and have fun. Yes. Yeah, I've done that.
Awesome. Let's see. What is your favorite place, if you were to pick one place to go out and paint sort of a la prima? Where's your favorite place to sit and paint?
It'd have to be beach. I was stuck on seascape for the longest time. And I travel to Florida 5-6 times a year, and it's just to sit on the beach and watch the sunrise. That's part of my soul. That's part of who I am. So it would be the beach easily. Yeah. That's still some of my favorite things to paint. This one, I like the seascapes. That's some of my favorite things to paint. Yeah. I know it's supposed to have show and tell. I had a few things ready here to be able to show.
I love show and tell. Do you have anything else you want to show us while you're at it?
Well, I tell people, I just came up there. The panels. I paint on panels all day. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the panels. Let me show you this real quick. Start doing portraits. I learned this from Marion Dutton too. This is on a panel. This is portrait. This is done with using raw umber. That's the only color you use. But this is on linen canvas. What the linen does is gives natural skin tones. So just use the one color. This is where I found. the best way to do portraits with the least amount of work to get the most detail. I mean, I love this style of painting. I add a little white to get some of the highlights, but it really is just one color, raw umber. The more color you add, the more darker it gets, and that's on a linen canvas. And it's a panel. I like doing that. But I tell people all the time, paint on anything. Saw blade, or drum heads. I like painting on drum heads. That's unique.
Yeah.
Paint on wood slices.
Yeah.
I like painting on the wood slices.
Yeah.
This was, I shared this as painting on glass. I mean, you can paint on, that's oil paint. I just put a little gesso on it just to give a good service and paint on that. So yeah, I like to paint. I don't like to be limited. I mean, and be kept in a box. I tell people paint on anything.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I try to have fun. I mean, you only get one shot at this thing called life. I try to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. I got some bonus questions for you.
Okay.
Bonus question number 1. Sunrises or sunsets?
Sunrise. To me, a sunrise is full of hope and promise. A sunset, as pretty as they are, is just a memory. It's gone. You can't get it back. But sunrise, I always believe, I like to watch the sunrises because I believe that day belongs to the first person to grab a hold of it and say it's mine. So yeah, that's an easy question. Sunrise.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Question number 2. What's your favorite color of oil paint?
My favorite color? Probably Wilson Bickford had a color called Red Rose Deep that I've used in skies instead of alizarin crimson. When I go to some workshops, everybody's like, "What is that color?" It's Red Rose Deep. It's a deep red that just gives a whole different flavor to the sky. And of course, it does wonderful roses, that color. So I use that color a lot.
Yeah, that's cool. I don't know that I've ever tried any Wilson Bickford paint. Is it good paint?
I liked it. Yes, I got certified with Wilson and loved everything he did. I'm sorry, he passed away way too young, way too soon. But I still do a lot of his style of work. Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'll have to try it. Question number 3. This one's a little bit longer. If you could trade your time and your talent of painting for any superhero ability, what would it be and why?
Wow, my time in painting for any superhero ability. I've seen this. I've watched some of the videos and I've not seen this question come up. Wow.
I try to keep these bonus questions unique every time, actually.
That's one I would have needed a little time to think on because I'm lost with that question. You stumped me, Gabby. You stumped me. Sorry. I know you love that question. I wish I had an answer for you. I wish I would have had an answer.
I love these theoretical questions because some of them are so bizarre, but it's like it just kind of makes you think. You know what I mean? So it's kind of fun.
And the older I get, I don't respond well to thinking, on the spot.
Right on the fly.
Yeah, sometimes I need a little time to think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I have any other questions. Do you have anything that you kind of want to talk about specifically?
Well, no, a question I thought I might get you when you asked other people was another painter that they would, if they could go anywhere, anytime, and another painter who would they talk to?
Yeah.
And mine is somebody you probably never even heard of, but he's a guitar player for the Rolling Stones, and he's been a guitar player all his life, and now he's starting to do rock and roll portraits. He's starting to do this kind of stuff. So I would love to go spend the day with him and learn what he's doing.
Yeah, and have some good conversations too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because I've been a fan of the music forever, but to know now that he's painting and he's kind of doing his are far better than mine. I have no problem saying that. His are outstanding. So I'd love to see how he's doing it and where he learned it and how he got started.
Yeah, awesome. I'm trying to think of some of the other bonus questions that I've asked some people.
The superpowers is a great one. I wish I had an answer. I wish I would have had a good answer to that. Yeah.
That's okay. It's all right to not have an answer. Some questions are kind of out there. If you could go anywhere in the world to see art, where would it be?
That's a tough one because I don't have any art training or any art knowledge. When people come up to me and ask me about some 16th century Italian artist, I don't have a clue. I don't know who you mean. I don't know anything about that. So I've heard of the Louvre. I've heard of that, but I really don't. I don't have a good understanding of some of the history of art. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you like to travel? Where's your favorite place to travel?
Any place there's a beach. Yeah, any place there's a beach.
What do you think is the prettiest beach you've ever seen?
The prettiest beach I've ever seen. Wow. I would say Jamaica.
Okay.
When I was in Jamaica, that was probably because of the location and just the time of my life. That was probably the prettiest beach. I know some out there are probably pretty, but that was the one that probably left its mark on me. Yeah.
Yeah, it speaks to you sometimes too. You know what I mean? It's not
I
just
like
about what you see.
the TV show Survivor. I don't know if you ever watch it, but they show some incredible beach scenes. You know, the nighttime, the sunsets, the sunrises, when they're just coming in and out of the commercials. Sometimes I stop and take a picture of the TV and use that for inspiration for a painting.
Yeah. Um, I love traveling to different places, and like in the evening, sort of the ambiance of some places is really spectacular. We went to the Big Island of Hawaii and the Four Seasons in Kona, and at night, that Four Seasons in particular doesn't have any electric lights. Everything is lit by torches at night, and it's
Wow.
just so fabulous to see. It's just so beautiful.
Hawaii's still on my list. I've been there yet. It's on my
Yeah.
list.
I've only been to the Big Island, but I always tell people don't discount the Big Island because there's a lot to do and it's a beautiful place. So, yeah, definitely get there. Do you have any final thoughts, sort of, as we wrap this up?
No, I just in the last few weeks, I just kind of saw what you've been doing and was inspired by it. You know, so I watched a few of them, and when you invited me, like, sure, let's do it. So I'm glad to see you doing this.
Yeah,
I think it's cool that people get to see and learn from people. Like I watched Kevin's today, and I had the thrill of painting with Kevin last year in one of his workshops, and he's amazing. I'm inspired by him. So when I saw he was on today, I stopped what I was doing and watched it. Yeah, so no, I appreciate you doing it. I
yeah,
hope somebody's inspired with something I've done or do. So who knows?
yeah. I think absolutely. I like your range of material that you do. I think that really that speaks to me. What you paint on, what you're painting, what you're drawing, all of that. I mean, it's great to have range. It really, really is.
I think there's a whole world out there, and the more you explore, I say this all the time. I mean, there's the more mediums you pick up and learn, you get in touch with your spirit. Because people talk about hand and eye coordination. I believe your soul. There's hand, eye, and soul. When all those three things work together, is when magic happens on canvas. So I speak of hand, eye, and soul coordination.
My mind's been blown. Absolutely. I think that's so great. Wow. Whew, good thought. I think that's it. And just want to say thank you for coming on. I love to get to talk to artists. It's been really fun talking to you. And I really appreciate you coming on because I can't do this without the people who come on and let me kind of pick them apart. So, yeah.
Thank you for letting me join in and having a little fun. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Pleasure meeting and talking to you.
Absolutely. I think that's it for our interview, guys, today. If you guys have any questions or comments, put it in the comment section of the video. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Where can people find you? If they want to find you online, where can they find you?
Facebook, The Rock and Roll Painter. On Instagram, The Rock and Roll Painter. I kind of let my website go because I didn't feel like paying for something that nobody was looking at. And I wasn't the guy. I didn't like going in and messing with the website, so I let that go. So really Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, and do you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
Yeah, but I haven't done a lot with that lately. So I'm getting lazy as I get older.
Yeah. Well, if anybody wants to see any of your old videos, they can find you on YouTube as well.
Yeah, I did several seasons of TV show that most of those episodes are on YouTube.
Okay, awesome. And was that of your own show that you did?
Yeah, it's called Rock and Roll Painter.
Yeah, awesome. So definitely, guys, go and check that out. I don't know how I almost forgot about that, but I almost forgot about that. Again, thank you very much. I think that's it for our show, guys, today. Any questions or comments, put it in the comment section of the video. Find him on YouTube, find him on Facebook, find him on Instagram. And seems like you're pretty open to having conversations and answering questions and giving advice and stuff to people. I think that's what I get from you.
I'll try. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Until next time, guys, I really do hope that you guys fall in love with painting and art and all that as much as we have. Bye now.
Thanks, Gabi.